Hello, everybody. Welcome to Meet Fit and Lean. If you're new, please hit that like and subscribe button. Well, folks, I was in the shower not long ago. I just had a sort of a revelation that I might actually have a glow up pretty soon. And I was thinking that's pretty interesting, folks, because so I'm 46 years old, right? And everyone says I'm 50. Well, yeah, I'm closer to 50 than 40. But I was thinking with that logic, if you're 16, does that mean you're 20? I mean, I know it's like semantics, but yeah, I'm closer to 50, but I'm not 50 yet. But I was thinking, what if my 50s, the decade that everybody dreads because they're getting old, what if that's my glow up, okay? What if I get married and have a family in my 50s, 10 to 15 years younger than my actual age? And then I can decide from there because if I get really lean and fit and healthy in my 50s, plus if I'm debt free, because I'm on a debt management program now, so I might be debt free in 2 years, and I'll be what, 48? So if I'm debt free by 48, I have no debts, right, y'all? So then all I have to do is get a better job in the I guess, the marketing field, something I can do, and a degree in ministry, plus my music on the side would bring in a nice cash flow for me. And I've been listening to the Del Walmsley program. That's sort of like, he talks about real estate and all that. I'm not saying I'm going to get into real estate because I'm not the real estate type, but I just think it'd be interesting, folks, if I actually have a glow up in my 50s. I know everyone says like life is over when you turn 40, but I feel like it'd be interesting because I was miserable, folks, as a young adult. My young adult years were not my happy years. For a lot of people, being 18 to 25 is their golden era, when they look their best, they have all their friends, they're in college, exploring. I didn't have any of that, really. I never even went to my senior prom. And I was homeschooled, so I guess my senior prom would have to be in a mailbox. But anyway, folks, I'm thinking that if I have a glow up in my 50s, that would be amazing. I become a father. I get my horse ranch. Maybe even turn my horse ranch into a Airbnb. My ranch can have a music venue for local bluegrass bands. And then I can live happily with my wife and my 3.5 kids. And of course, we will have our GMC Acadia and drive to the local farmers market on the weekends. So my 50s could be my glow up, my 50s. And that's like, wow, because, I'm going to be honest, folks, I always thought 50 was kind of old, when I was young. Even though my parents were in their 50s, I don't think of my parents as old because they were in their 50s when I was young. But, my parents were in their 40s when I was born. But I guess I always thought 50 is like, kind of getting up there. But I think, for me, I think I'm going to do well in my 50s. I think I'm going to turn my life around. It's just amazing because they always say you have to do everything when you're young. But I wonder if that's like a trap because a lot of people get burnout, when they try too hard in their younger days, like I did. I really tried to set the music world on fire. And I just messed up on every level because I made people angry with my personal opinions. Like, excuse me for having an opinion, and I guess it came to the point with my church when I said F you to my pastor because my pastor went woke and he was doing a sermon about Charlottesville, which is full of lies, mainstream media lies. And I said on the live stream, I said, F you, pastor, F you. And of course, I was banned from my church for a while. They wouldn't allow me into any of the small group meetings because they knew that I would have a difference of opinion. So, that being said, I made a lot of mistakes when I was just a kid in my 30s. But now that I'm older and wiser, I think my 50s, which are coming up in 4 years for me, I think that's going to be my glow up, y'all. I'm going to have a glow up. So keep that in mind, folks, as I move along, and I will be doing my weigh-in tomorrow. Now, I weighed 256 today. I didn't film, and like everyone's saying, oh, you must be gaining weight. No, I'm staying steady at 256 to 258. I know it's disappointing. I know I should be 220 by now when I started. Actually, I should be 190 pounds because I started 2 years ago, folks. But slow and steady wins the race. I'm the tortoise in this race. I am, and I think with that being said, I might even go into politics, y'all. I might even run for a political office because we need someone like me who is really a real conservative. All these fake conservatives, but in the Republican Party. But yeah, I always knew the Republican Party was full of liberals because after all, it is the party of Lincoln. Lincoln and his Marxist Republicans. And so, my family was always conservative Southern Democrat. They became Republican in the 1960s when things kind of changed a little bit in their neck of the woods, and they decided, well, let's fix this. But anyway, folks, enough of the tangent. I think my 50s are going to be my glow up. That's what I'm saying. Y'all take care. Remember, folks, say a prayer for some special day. Bye-bye.